Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Special Needs on the Table, with your host, Alyssa Apostolopolous.
And me, Yomi, Karade. Today, our guest is Michelle, Mama Bear, for rare, who is an advocate for her daughter, who has Jordan syndrome, which is a rare condition and a disorder. How are you today, Michelle?
I am well. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. That's great.
We're so happy to have you. So we want to start off by having you tell us about yourself and your family.
First of all, I'm really excited to be on today. My name is Michelle. I know me on social media as Mama Bear, for rare, Mama Bear. I'm a teacher, I'm a wife, and I'm a mom of two kids. My son, who's almost 5 years old, he is a typical neurotypical child, and I have my daughter Haley, who is 2 years and 3 months, and she is beautiful and wonderful, just like my son. She's just a little different because she has something rare, which makes her like a gem, that she's so rare. She has Jordan syndrome, and when she was diagnosed, there were less than 200 kids diagnosed globally. So I just kind of feel like that makes our journey that much cooler and rarer, that we have something that we can inform and educate people about. And I guess it's fitting that I am a special educator, and that's kind of my job, to educate and inform. And as a mom, I just kind of landed in both those roles. So, I created Mama Bear, and it became something that I think has been really beneficial for so many other families, but selfishly for myself, it's been therapeutic and cathartic, and a wonderful release, and just being able to connect to people. So I hate to say this because I feel like it sounds so cliche, but I feel like it's somewhat of my calling, just because I was, dealt with something so rare and something that I never expected. And I just tried to make it positive and make it something that I can, look forward to sharing with everyone every day.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's really lovely. Thank you. So let's go to your daughter. When did you start noticing that she was having any developmental delays or medical issues? And can you explain as best as you can what they were?
So to be honest, and I know people think I'm crazy when I say this, but the minute she was born, I knew, and it wasn't a delay, obviously, because she was newborn. I just had this feeling, like a gut instinct. It kind of maybe dated back to when I was actually pregnant. She was a twin, and we lost the twin early on, but the pregnancy just felt very different than with my son. And I just had some strange feelings that kind of crept up during my pregnancy. And then I guess we truly noticed there were some delays probably around like 2 months, when, you get all those reminders from all the apps telling you your child should be doing this and your child should be doing that. Mm-hmm. And then I had my own real life experience reminders of what my son was doing and what she wasn't. So we kind of started that journey with the pediatrician, and I felt like I became the medical expert on Google. I was looking up her symptoms and, anything I noticed about her. And that journey just kind of started pretty early on.
Right.
Wow.
And you said that she's 1 in 200. So can you tell us more about what Jordan syndrome is?
Sure. So Jordan syndrome is a mutation, a random mutation on the gene PPP2R5D. And at first, I never remembered that when we learned about it. And now I just feel like it rolls off the tongue so easily. But there are different variants. So each individual who has Jordan syndrome does present a little bit differently. Hypotonia is kind of common, meaning low muscle tone. Global developmental delay, speech delay, seizures are about 33% of the children experience that. Haley happens to be one of those children, which we also caught pretty early on that she was experiencing seizure activity. So things are just difficult for individuals with Jordan syndrome, but that doesn't mean that they don't do it. They just work a little bit harder and they get there in their own timeline. So while Haley isn't crawling yet or fully sitting up, I know she will. And, those are some of the things that you'll see. A lot of the children are struggling to do things that, and that's, again, what kind of made me say, okay, something's not right here. She's not smiling yet or cooing yet. So, you know, those things do come with time. So she doesn't stop smiling now. So while she doesn't stop smiling, and it's just like, I can't look away, because like, if I look away and I look back, she's like still smiling at me, like, Mom, I'm still here. Like, keep smiling at me. But it's just a different timeline. And, you know, that's something that we've learned to accept and embrace. And we're getting there in our own time.
I saw even the other day you posted a video of her making an attempt to crawl, and it was just so beautiful and so amazing how much effort she was putting in, and your love for her and, you know, the effort she was putting in was just so apparent in that post.
Thank you. That post, I get like very emotional because it was Memorial Day and we stayed home because I was sick, and I was just, you know, kind of down in the dumps. Like, I'm home. It's a beautiful day. And she was on the floor, and I looked over and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a huge moment. And
Wow.
She hasn't done it again for me since, but I told her teacher, and her teacher was like, oh yeah, she does it all the time. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Isn't it wonderful when they have those moments and you can actually be there to those milestones and see it and be there? It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So let's just switch just a little bit right now and let's talk about bullying. How has this affected your family, and how have you coped, and what supports do you receive for this?
So, as you know, I advocate for my daughter, and we put ourselves out there on social media. We did that pretty early on. And one of the first videos I posted of her, I had some really cruel comments from people that hid their own identity, which, you know, says a lot about them, not us. But just really mean comments about what she looked like and what was wrong with her. And, you know, I took those moments. Obviously, I was devastated because it's my child, and I felt guilt. I said, you know, is this my fault? Am I putting my family in that position? And I reached out to some of the people that work with Jordan's guardian angels, and they said, what you're doing is more good than bad. And for every negative comment, for every negative person that's out there, like, there are hundreds of good, positive support out there. And it was like within minutes, I had an army of people that were like, keep going, just ignore, you know, that individual. And there was a moment where I was like, I have to stop doing this. And then these people flooded my messages and inbox and videos. And I was like, you know what? This is my why. I have to keep going. And knock on wood, I haven't really come in contact with too much negativity. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing it, and that's okay. I don't want to see it, but if I do see it, I definitely will speak up, because that's one of the most important things. That's why we're doing what we're doing, you know, that people are different, that people have different struggles, and acceptance is just something that should be in our human nature.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're making such a powerful impact on so many people in a positive way. So how are you also working towards making this world a more inclusive place?
Well, thank you for that. I guess just by sharing our vulnerability and our story, I think it's helpful for others to see, like, you're not alone. And I think by sharing a little bit about my daughter and kind of what's going on with me emotionally, because not every day is a happy Instagram reel video and positivity. There's days where it's hard, and, you know, you have to remember that you're not alone in this journey. And I think that it's important that people understand, you know, that you need to include everyone. And I write a lot in my blog about, you know, how I feel sometimes maybe she's invisible to others, like they don't want to address her. And it's almost like she's not in the room, when she really is. And she has receptive language, and she has feelings, and she wants to be included. So I remind people of that. And I think those little reminders have truly impacted a lot of people, because some of the words that I've said that are, you know, not politically correct or hurtful or harmful, I've told my good friends, like, these words aren't cool. They hurt me. They hurt my family. And I've seen a change. And while it's not changing the world, like, exactly how I want, like right now, instantaneously, I see small changes. And I think that's, you know, a start.
I think that's perfect. I think that's great, because, you know, sometimes we don't say anything. you know, and that just kind of fuels the negativity to keep going on and on and on. And it's good that you said, look, that's not good for me. I think that's just perfect, you know. I really think that you've done that really nicely. So, you know, kudos to you.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it was a learning experience because someone, you know, a teacher actually at, you know, a location where I was visiting one day used a word that I was like, really? And I didn't say anything, but I went home and I was like devastated. And I was like, I don't want to feel like this, that I didn't do anything. So that for me was a big moment where I was like, I'm not going to let someone say something like that and not speak up about it. So that kind of moved me along, and knowing I had to do more and do better.
That's great. It really is great. So what advice would you give to other mums and families who have received like a rare diagnosis like you have for their child? And also what advice would you give to them also if they've experienced any type of bullying as well as their child?
My first piece of advice would be reach out. I mean, I'm not the only person out there, but I'm always available. I always have a lending ear. So I'm here for anyone that is experiencing any kind of new diagnosis. But reach out to your community, reach out to people that understand, reach out to your family, your friends. While they may not understand, they'll be supportive, and just tell them what you need. I think that I learned that people were giving me things they thought I needed, different advice, and it just wasn't working. So I don't know, Mama Bear came out, and I just felt like I started to advocate for not only my kids, but myself. You know, what I need from you is this. And, you know, I'm not feeling great about this. So this is what I need for you to help me feel better. So just reaching out and not being scared to ask for help when you need it is just crucial to your own mental health, because it's a lot. And, you know, you need help to navigate, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Something we've actually heard in other podcasts as well with other people about the meaning of connecting with other people in your community and connecting with your friends and your family. And, you know, even on the days that are hard, because sometimes those are the days you need it the most. And we were curious too, how do you explain neurodiversity to your son right now?
So that's actually something that we talk about a lot, my husband and I, and how we, you know, can navigate that, because he is almost 5 and he does have a lot of questions. And, you know, we are pretty honest with him. We tell him, your sister has something called Jordan syndrome and things are a little bit harder for her. And he seems pretty receptive and he's curious. And the only thing I've really seen from him is that he loves her and protects her, and he just wants to know how he can help her. And we got her stander, and the other day she was in it, and he went over to her and he goes, "Look, Mom, look, Dad, she's standing just like me." And I had to like leave the room because I was like, it's just a simple thing, but he wants to do things with her. And while he can't do what he pictured, you know, with his sibling, he does it in a different way. And I think that's beautiful, because it's just making him become this more empathetic, understanding human, which I think he already was. He was this underlying, amazing little boy. But I just think learning more about his sister, and that, you know, everything outside of our house and our world, like there will be things in life that aren't what we expected. And I think that's okay. And he needs to know that that's okay. We can ask questions, but we just need to do it in a respectful way, because if someone comes up to me and says, you know, why is your daughter not doing this? Or, you know, any questions, I want to educate them. Like, I don't want people to be shy. I think that's something too that, you know, I think in the past, if someone said, you know, why is that kid in a wheelchair? Why isn't that kid doing that? The mom or the dad or the caretaker would say, you know, don't say anything. But I don't think that's the right thing. You know, ask us, because, you know, especially for us, like, I want you to know, and I want you to know how you can include my daughter.
Mm-hmm. That is wonderful. You know, because so many times that people will be like, oh, no, it's okay, I'm not going to say anything. But to actually now to be so open as you are, to say, no, actually ask me the questions. You know, that takes a lot of courage for someone to actually say that. No, ask me the questions. It's fine. It's fine. It's wonderful. It's very, very great. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Can you tell us also about your blog and who your readers are and what do your articles help to accomplish?
Sure. So first of all, the blog was originally for me. I just one night was not dealing well with it. I didn't really know how to cope with so many emotions, and I just started writing. And then my really good friend who actually started a website design business was like, you should do something with this. And she created a beautiful website for me. And it was funny because she tracks the readers, and there were readers that were in New Jersey where we are, and there were readers that were in Australia and, you know, China, like everywhere. So I don't know how it funneled or where it funneled to, but, you know, it's geared towards really anyone who's struggling, not just a parent of a child with a rare disease or a disabled child or a parent in general. It's really to anyone that's struggling to know it's okay to be vulnerable. And that's just what I want, you know, whoever's reading to know and feel that it's okay. And emotions are part of our everyday. And I'm really just trying to connect with the world, not just my rare community.
I love that. I think that's amazing that you're really working on that, and that so many people are, I'm sure, benefiting from it.
Thank you.
So what can we find on your website, mamabearforrare.com? And we also wanted to know about your new business venture to help jazz up adaptive equipment.
Thank you. Yeah. So on my website, you can find my blog. You can find actually websites I love that really promote inclusivity, or just brands that I think acknowledge the disabled community, because I think that's so important. And when I see an advertisement or a commercial showing that there are, you know, other people in the world that don't fit into this perfect little bubble, that makes my heart happy. So I put that on my website. I also have information about Jordan's syndrome and a link to Jordan's guardian angels. And then my new business venture, which I'm really excited about, is called Mama Bear Creations. And essentially, I love personalizing stuff. I got the Cricut. I don't know if you guys know the Cricut, but I'm like obsessed. And my husband's like, I spend a lot of time on it. I'm like, because it makes me happy. It brings me joy. I don't know if you saw Marie Kondo, like, if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. If it brings you joy. I actually didn't see it, but like, I know the tagline, so I'm just using it. But like, if I can personalize it, I will. And when my daughter got her equipment, I was like, I need to make this fun for her. I need it to be personalized for Haley. So I got the idea that, you know, if you have adaptive wear, whether it's a onesie or for a G tube or a feeding tube or whatever, I can personalize things for others. And the goal is that a percentage will go to either research for Jordan's guardian angels, or hopefully one day, if we can take off, if someone has an organization of their choice they'd like me to donate to. So that's kind of the direction we're going. So the goal is to help people and also help research and just move forward in general.
Definitely. Adaptive equipment shouldn't be boring. Shouldn't be something that people look at and go, ooh, it should be like, well, I want that.
Exactly.
Yeah, can I have one of those like that? Can I have my sneakers like that? Can I have this like that?
For sure.
You know, what I love about you is just that you bring so much energy into this. You know, it's not like, okay, you know, you must have had your struggles and still have some struggles, but at the same time, the life that's coming out of you is like, is just oozing a lot of life. And so it's just shows how your daughter and your family have got this very loving and beautiful environments where they can thrive in, you know, which is just absolutely wonderful. You know, it's just wonderful.
Thank you.
And you being a special education teacher at the same time, it's like, oh my God, it's like having a full meal. And not even needing dessert, you know, it's like I could take the dessert home with me.
We always need dessert.
Always, it's true. I don't know why I said that. So what are your goals for the future? Fantastic stuff you're doing. So what's the goals for the future?
Obviously inclusivity for everybody, but you know, personally, I would love to see one day a cure for my daughter, a treatment for her. Not that I don't love her just the way she is. She's perfect in every single way, but I'd love it for her to be a little easier for her to do things, you know, because as her mom, I don't want to see her struggle. But I just like it to be a little easier for her. And if not, we'll get through it together. She's a strong girl. She's stronger than me. She's taught me what it means to be strong. So, you know, I love science. I think science is going to do its thing, but if not, Haley sure will. So I'm not worried.
Michelle, we cannot thank you enough. I mean, first, your energy, like Yomi said, is just incredible. You are so warm and passionate. You're clearly making a positive impact just for your family, but not just for your family. I mean, for everybody out there who's reading your blogs, who's seeing your social media posts, you are changing the world. And I think it is more than just one person at a time. I think you're really making such a great, big difference. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you both.
Yes, and thank you again. You know, I wish I had a teacher just like you when I was at school, because the energy that's coming off is just amazing. It's like, I'll get everything done.
Thank you. And it was really lovely chatting with you both. You're so easy to talk to. I feel like I talked the whole time, sorry. But it's so easy to talk to you. So thank you. I really appreciate being on this. And I look forward, and hopefully we'll be continuing to chat and communicate about, you know, future endeavors.
Most definitely. And anytime you want to come back on the show, just let us know. But everybody be sure to check this wonderful interview out. This is Michelle. She's wonderful. She's a great teacher. I hope your school's principal is watching this. I'd just like to shout out to him. Keep this one. Keep this one for a long time. Find us on YouTube, Special Needs on the Table, and on Instagram at Special Needs on the Table. Michelle, thank you once again.
Thank you.